Hey family, assalamu alaikum. Let me get the background right. I might have to sit my laptop on something. Hold on. I'm reaching for the Hoodoo Tarot box. I might as well use this one, huh? I might as well use this one. Assalamu alaikum, Eid Mubarak. Sorry, this show had been postponed twice. But yeah, we was doing some celebrating over the weekend. And Friday, we did the cookbook at the house, and we just been chilling all weekend, but really just celebrating and having fun as a family. Thank y'all for being here today. Mickey Brooks, Red Six, Raven Dene, Reparations Nation. I don't know why couldn't say that right. Austell Gray, Loyal Girl 57, Melrose Radio. Thank you so much for coming today, y'all. You know I'm gonna pull cards today because we're supposed to do this on Friday. But we're gonna pull cards about something that I know y'all been wanting to talk about. Because I've been wanting to talk about it. Thank you. My ballerinas. I had ballet today, by the way. And I'm a little anxious because we're working on the recital piece and I don't know it. I don't know it. And I should be practicing it, right? I should, because I got the video of it and I should be practicing it, right? Not practicing. I've been doing everything, but I actually tried to yesterday and I just gave up. So as of today, I think we have 5 weeks until the recital. It ain't looking good. But so we're gonna talk about these Somalis and Selma. It's so much stuff I want to talk about. Mainly because I just found out about some data center that we voted against the data center coming into my community, and then they decided to go behind our backs and have some side conversations with some leaders, some so-called leaders in my community, to see if they could get some set-asides and I don't know, secure jobs and things that we know aren't going to be a benefit to the community at all. So I wanted to talk about data centers too, because I did like a panel a few weeks ago about the data centers, and I think I talked Eid Mubarak, Dante 3 times X. I hope you enjoyed. Well, you're enjoying because the celebrations are going to go up into the weekend to this weekend. But I hope you enjoyed your last weekend of celebrating Eid Mubarak. Dang, I'm just talking about this data center, and these cards came up. The Devil and the 3 of Knives, which is heartbreak. This is heartbreak, and you know what the devil is. And in this card, it says it's like a lady at a funeral home, and she has the obituary in her hand that says R.I.P. Now, I could take that a few different ways. As far as these data centers go, I could take it as the data center is not going to pass. Like the community is going to shout it down again because we don't want that coming into our community. Or I could see that it's death coming into the community if it does happen, because we already know what's happening with these data centers. We already know. Can y'all hear Amina in the background? Because she's playing very loudly. Ooh, 7 of Knives with the 3 of Knives. And the 7 with the 3, that's a 10, which is really a 1. So that's clarity. They're trying to do some really sneaky stuff behind our backs. And dang, I wasn't trying to pull cards about this data center. I just had these cards in my hand. Let's see. What else? What else? 4 of Wands. She's not loud. Hold on, I'm gonna tell her to be quiet. Hold on. Yeah, I know she's doing this on purpose. I just spent the last hour washing her hair in the sink because she won't let me do it any other time. He said, "Yes, I can hear you. I look beautiful today. Thank you. Thank you. I feel like my skin has been looking really good lately. But yeah, I feel like this four wands. This could mean a few different things. It could mean that they're going to be successful with this data center, or it could mean the community is going to be successful because this is on this card. It's like a couple, and they're actually burying their baby. I don't know. We're gonna see. Let's talk about these Somalis in Selma. Um, I I just went to Tariq page because I knew he would have the video. So
But the movement is transformed from then again to us and now. This is our moment because our time has come to defend our rights. Yes, this is one step in that great legacy. Let's march with solemnity. Yeah! Keep hope alive! 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 Keep hope alive!
I'm sorry, y'all. I'm just so disgusted. Like I cannot believe these people actually had the gall, the unmitigated gall, to go up to Selma in March. What were they thinking? What were they thinking? Raven says, I realize how super important we truly are, especially with protesting. But the thing about us protesting is we actually had a reason to, and we were a threat to the state. That's why it was called Bloody Sunday, because the police were out on the bridge with dogs, fire hoses. They were beating people with clubs. Like there's a reason why. There's a reason why. And these people aren't threats. Melrose Radio says they probably flew first class. Yeah, they. It makes no sense. First of all, what are y'all doing outside of Minneapolis? No, aren't y'all supposed to be in Minnesota? Why are y'all coming? Y'all, Loyal Girl 57 said it's pathetic. It's so pathetic. It's lackluster. I didn't see this on any like major publications at all. Reparations Nation says, I truly hate, and yes, I'm using that stronger word, these people, real talk. I hate them too. Mickey Brooks says, inconsequential soul is desperate. Like, there's really no reason for them to be there. They really think that they're about to step into our skin and become who we are. But they're not a threat. You see this and you just see people walking across the bridge. You don't really see them actually demanding anything. And what rights are they fighting for? They already have rights. No one has the right to stay in this country illegally. That is just the law. You're not being treated in an inhumane fashion because you are being held accountable for not following the laws. Reparations Nation says our people were prepared to die that day. This is BS. I think that they forfeited any chance of having they forfeited any chance of having a soul when they left their country and came here because they think that they had something to fight for back home, but they don't have anything to fight for here. And they're not understanding how important that is for them as a people to have a, a common issue, a common goal for everyone.
I'm hungry.
Okay, honey.
And I want crackers.
Didn't I give you some already?
I want some more crackers though.
Hold on, y'all. I'm so sorry, y'all. I had to get her to be quiet somehow. Um, Raven says they are all doing this just because they don't want to go back home. That's it. But most of these people are probably already citizens. I don't know why they're doing this, other than the Democratic National Convention, the Democratic National Committee, whoever these people are behind the curtain, they sent them out there. Melrose Radio says they're going to be asking for reparations. They already asked for reparations. They already asked for reparations. They're not getting it, but they have already asked for it. And of course, if the Democrats are in office, they're going to give them reparations. Loyal Girl 57 says, I saw your post about them leaving their children at home to starve, and this is why they'll never thrive here. Yeah. And they don't want to go back. But did y'all see that Somalian guy who I think he got convicted because he stole millions of dollars from the government. I don't remember in what way, but we already seen that they were running all types of scams. But he stole millions and they sentenced him to prison and he asked to be deported instead. And y'all know why, right? Because all that money that he was stealing from the government is probably in Kenya. Because all the Somalis that live in America, their people left Somalia and they're all in Kenya. And they're building up Kenya with the money that they've been stealing from the US government. Yeah, Raven says if money is involved, they'll be there. Yes, exactly. Let's go back. Let's finish the video. Well, actually, I want to start back because I want y'all to really listen to what this guy is saying. This fake Obama. And I think this might be Nikema Williams. If this is Nikema Williams, I got a problem with her because this is my congressperson. She took John Lewis's seat, which John Lewis, he had I don't know what you would call it, like a fixed seat. Like he didn't have to do any campaigning or anything. He was always going to win that seat. And he died and they pretty much just gave it to this lady. Now I can't tell if that's her or not because I don't think I've ever seen her with this. It looks like her, but I've never seen her look like this. It better not be. Because obviously we have this data center coming. Well, they're trying to put this data center in our community. And she's already a sellout. I wouldn't be surprised if she was going behind our backs and trying to get set asides for herself just to get this data center in our community. So we're going to listen to what this fake Obama has to say.
But the movement is transformed from them and then to us and now.
What is that even supposed to mean? The movement has transformed from them and then to us and now. Them and then? What? Y'all can't transform our movement. We have not received any redress for what happened to us. No atonement, no repair. But y'all think that y'all are just going to take over and stand in our shoes? Y'all are walking over the blood of our ancestors. Y'all think that y'all are going to just run off with the movement. Y'all don't even know what the movement is. That's the problem. They don't even know what the movement is, but they think that they are standing in our shoes. Mickey Brooks says it's her. Yeah. I got a problem with that. Reparations Nation says, that's where all my life and everything I love. If the Dems give them cash reparations before us, I'm literally going to want to crash out and leave it all on the table and put up. I agree. And I'll be right behind you. But I'm not I'm not voting for any Democrats ever again. There's no way I'll be voting for any Democrats ever again. And we would be foolish if we did that. Look at these people that are at the rally. I can't even call this a protest or a march or anything. This is just this is a pep rally. Look at these people.
This is our moment because our time has come.
What do you mean? Your moment for what? Why don't they fight this hard in their homelands? Because they would just get slaughtered. They would get slaughtered. They don't have They don't have the strength behind their words. They don't even have a cause here. That's why this is weird. Like, what are you doing out in the streets? This man has on a Jesse Jackson shirt. It's like they waited for this man to die. This is what these people do. They did the same thing to Martin Luther King. They did the same thing to Malcolm X. They did the same thing to Medgar Evers. All of our leaders who they killed, they took their likeness and turned it into something other than what they were actually about. Now, Jesse Jackson, um, that wasn't somebody that we was about to praise and uphold anyway. And with his death, we've already said went the term African American. They're trying to keep that alive. That's the hope that they're trying to keep alive. The hope of the African American. But now that we have decided that we weren't going to be keeping African American alive, they're stuck out here by themselves looking crazy. They look crazy and thirsty and desperate. Reparations Nation says, you got a family and says, don't be behind me. Just support my actions for our people. I ain't got nothing to lose but me. I feel you, but my children are going to have to understand that there's some things in this life that you are going to have to crash out over. And this in your survival in the country where your ancestors lived, died, bled, you're going to have to crash out about that, because these people, they don't have the same interest in this country that we do. They're trying to protect their money. They don't want to go back to Somalia because they know how messed up it is over there. We don't have nowhere to go back to. We are home. Dante 3x X says, we are used as their shoes to walk into a better life. Destiny swap personified. Yes, but we haven't been allowing them to facilitate the destiny swap anymore. They're making themselves look like interlopers. We are clearly the originals and they're clearly the copies.
To defend our rights. Yes, this is one step in that great legacy.
They're trying to defend rights that they didn't even fight for. That's what really has me. Like, y'all are trying to defend the rights that our people fought for and you were grandfathered into. You still don't have anything to defend. Nothing is happening to you all. These people are free just to walk across the bridge. They're safe. Nothing is happening. Loyal Girl 57 says, the more they try to tether onto us, the more ridiculous they look. They do. They look crazy. They look crazy.
Let's march with solemnity. Yeah! Keep hope alive! Keep hope alive! Keep hope alive! Keep hope alive! Keep hope alive!
It just really kills me because they don't even have anything like original. They don't have any original chants or mantras. They're just saying keep hope. Keep hope. People haven't said keep hope alive in about 30, 40 years. So they don't have anything like original, interesting, thought-provoking to bring to a new movement of civil rights. They don't have anything new to bring. So they're just reheating our old nachos, and they're very, very soggy. Very, very soggy. Hey, Nancel, she says entitlement. Yeah, they're very entitled because they're entitled because they didn't have to work for anything. They came over here. They were given resources for food, resources for housing. Their children got to go to college for free. They didn't have to work for anything. So once you start seeing that these things that they got for free are being taken away, they don't want that free stuff to go away. They don't know what it's like to not get the free stuff, which is crazy because they all come from third world places. So they're not trying to get it out the mud. They're trying to just hold on to the same things that they received when they got here. Red Six says they should have called ICE. Mickey Brooks says they're trying to bastardize illegal activity into a right. Exactly. I think that they got their N-word wake up call, and they didn't realize that it would happen because they thought that they were being sneaky. They thought, oh, we're just doing the things that the white people showed us how to do, because clearly they were being used to defraud the government by white people who taught them how to do these types of frauds and these types of scams, because they didn't know what they were doing. They were misled, and they've been doing it for so long they don't know how to not do it. So that's like this is like you and your friend do some dirt together, but you don't want to get caught, and you're like, oh, well, such and such was with me too. Well, such and such got away, and they don't have any evidence on them, but your confession, you telling on them, you snitching on them. So they're trying to figure out why because they believe that they're white too. They don't think that they're African. They don't think that they're black. They think that they're white Arabs. They think that they should be able to get away with criminal activity like white folks do in this country. Reparations Nation says they thought they weren't considered in words. They did. They did, but they're being showed that you were only brought into this country as a pawn. And if we can't use you, then we'll get rid of you. And that's what they're doing. Nancel says that rally looks and sounds dry. No energy, just dead. Exactly. And this dude, I heard was supposed to be running for Congress in Illinois. So our Illinois people got to stand up, because this is nothing but another Ilhan Omar.
Keep hope alive! 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 Se siente, Minnesota está presente. Se ve, se siente, Minnesota está presente. Se siente, Minnesota está presente. Se ve, se siente, Minnesota está presente.
Like they out there smiling. Like when our people were being brutalized on Bloody Sunday, nobody was smiling. Nobody was smiling. Everybody who showed up was prepared to die. They knew what would happen to them that day. These people look like they went to a cookout. They got the Somalian flag waving, talking about I am somebody, trying to use Jesse Jackson's dead corpse to have some type of momentum for a movement that really should not exist. Like, it's really unbelievable. Spud McKenzie says, no dogs and no hoses. I am Somali. Wait, you Somali, Spud McKenzie? What? Mickey Brooks, we the people means all the people. Yeah, even the criminals. even even Epstein was heaven sent. That's what it's giving. Even Donald Trump was heaven sent. That's what it's giving. Reparations Nation said that they got on crappy t-shirts and jeans. Meanwhile, our people were literally dressed casket ready. Exactly. That was the whole thing behind it. That was the whole thing behind it. They knew what would happen to them walking across that bridge in Selma. They were prepared to die. They were casket sharp because they knew that they could die today. This is really shocking. Spud McKenzie says, no, that's what they were saying. I am Somali. They are flying a foreign flag in the United States of America. In my opinion, that means war. And people have been doing this for decades. I don't know how people are allowed to get away with this. In my America, this would not happen. You wouldn't be able to speak another language unless it was English. English would be the national language. You would not be able to fly any foreign flags in America. This is crazy. And then like the way that they changed the Minnesota flag, state flag. I don't understand that. They literally changed the state flag of Minnesota to like mirror what the
Minnesota está presente. Se ve, se siente. Minnesota está presente.
I'm sorry, I'm trying to get y'all to see this. You see, this is the Minnesota flag right here. It looks like the Somali flag. The Somalis have only been in Minnesota for like 30 years. How are they running the entire state? There's only like 200,000 of them in the entire state, too. And yes, loyal girl, America is too soft now. I think they gave up. I think they gave up um, probably around the time JFK got assassinated. That was when everybody should have realized, like, okay, America is probably giving up because they're taking the gloves off. They don't even care if people know that the entire country is a psyop. They don't care. But 1947, when Israel was established, that was when the world powers, the people that pretty much invested the most into the slave trade, that was when that was when around the time when they decided like we're going to dump America because we're going to have our holy land back. And we don't have to pretend like we're not the ones pulling the strings in America. That's just what I think. I don't really have too much evidence, but that's just my theory. And Mickey Brooks says, yes, not our spirituals too. Why are you singing We Shall Overcome? What are you overcoming? I feel like I missed something. What is being overcome? Red Six says they don't even have a clear demand, just outside yelling, getting cardio, wasting time. Yeah, that's why nobody cared. No one gave a good damn. Like, no one cared. Look at her. You should be ashamed of yourself, ma'am. Anybody that seemingly that looks like they could be Black American, you should definitely be ashamed of yourself. Spud McKenzie says a bunch of cowards running the show. I just like Loyal Girl said yes. Reparations Nation says body odor. You know it smells funny in there. You know it.
All right.
Look at this picture. I'm super disgusted. I am so super disgusted by these people. It's for me, when I heard what they were doing, I thought it was very disrespectful. But you can't see that and actually take it seriously. Reparation Nation said that they trying to overcome body odor. Is that why they trying to stay in the country? This is I didn't even shuffle the deck, but 5 of coins, 3 of knives. That puts me in the mind of feeling like the Democrats are doing this to betray us because they know that without our help, they're going to be at a disadvantage. So what they're going to try to do, they're going to try to ruin our legacy so that we won't have anything to stand on moving forward without the Democrats because they feel like they gave us this legacy. And so yeah, I love the Hoodoo Tarot deck. I usually just use this to if I'm doing like an ancestor reading. But I don't know, I reached for it. So the ancestors probably got something to say about this. I really wonder because my thing is there's so much ancestral history that comes with Selma, Alabama, period. Because Selma's like a ghost town now. They're like, there's nothing going on in Selma now. It's kind of like after what they did on Bloody Sunday, like all the energy just left. So that's why when I've always thought it was weird that like every year on Bloody Sunday people go back and do a march. It's kind of like I don't get that. Spud McKenzie says we were marching and weren't in any wrong. These folks illegal and we're that's why we have such a moral high ground when it comes to anything that happens to us in this country, pretty much because we've always had a reason to be out here yelling about our mistreatment because it was obvious that we were being mistreated. These people aren't being mistreated. They were given a leg up over us, and we're supposed to pretend like that none of that happened. I really what what do these Somalis in this rainbow coalition of people, what do they think that they're going to achieve by pretty much they're what are they going to achieve by trying to destiny swap with us? They think that they're going to be able to they see what we did and they think that it solidified our place in this country, and that's what they're trying to do. The mother of coins, this is mother of coins is the queen who is very very stable. She's at home, she's nurturing. This woman is resting. She has lavender around her. She has all of her favorite things, her cat. They want to be at home. They put their stake down in this country, and they want people to know that this is their home and they're not leaving. But they're also hiding some things. I think that they're hiding they're hiding the fact that they have interest elsewhere, but they're trying to stay here, but they really want to solidify the fact that they are Americans. They really want to be black Americans, but they don't want to be black Americans. Yeah, it's like they're trying to pull the wool over our eyes in some ways. And I think that they're going to be able to do that by embodying our energy, but they can't because black Americans, like I said, we have the moral high ground. Y'all have already been exposed for being scammers. Nobody's going to take you seriously. This is giving like very much mission accomplished. Um, I think their little rally was successful. Are the Somalis going to be successful in their pursuit of stealing our destiny, trying to steal our legacy, trying to embody our legacy? Are the Somalis going to be successful in their pursuit of stealing our legacy? I don't think they're going to be successful only because everybody sees right through their plan. This is the Sun card, and I just showed y'all this. Um, I think people are going to be able to see straight through their plan. This also gives me that they can't try to steal something that we're still embarking on our own legacy. Like we're moving into like a new phase of our legacy. And I think that people are seeing it as like a death. You know what I mean? But we know that with death there's a rebirth. I think the rebirth of the Black American, the foundational Black American, the Solon, whatever we decide to call ourselves. I think that rebirth has put us in a different stratosphere. And people are like trying to reach out and touch some piece of us that they can, because we've kind of moved far away to a point where they don't even know how they can't attach themselves to us in any way. They can't move us off of our square. They can't destabilize us, because that's what they keep trying to do. Even little stuff like this. Um, this was blatant disrespect from the DNC. I'm not sure if it's blatant disrespect from the Somalis. I think that they don't know what else to do, and what they do know how to do is see something that's successful and copy that. The Democrats, though, they're outrightly trying to disrespect us. They're trying to show us that we can be replaced. I don't think that. Yeah, they keep Three of Knives keeps coming out. Like, it just keeps coming out, and with the Three of Knives, that's betrayal. We're not playing their game, and we're not doing their program anymore. And since we're not doing their program, they're going to try to hit us in any way that they can. They're really trying to get us to like leak energy for them to steal. And the best way for the Democrats to do that, because they've been doing it for so long and they do it so well, is to disrespect us in a way that makes us have to react towards them. Because one thing about it is, we know the shady things that they do, especially when it's towards us. And they know this now too. So they're doing these things on purpose, just because they know that we know where it's coming from. Loyal Girl 57, yeah, they're trying to get a reaction out of us. They are. But I don't think they're getting the reaction that they really want. Look, Nine of Coins. We're I would This is a card of self-sufficiency. And on the material plane, being self-sufficient on the material plane, which means, for me, in my opinion, I feel like this means that since we were able to delineate and self-identify, we don't need anybody to tell us who we are. And I think moving forward, as the years go on, we'll start to become even more self-sufficient as far as financially and economically. They don't want us to feel like we can do anything without them. And it's mainly because, I mean, in this country, there are only two political parties. They've conditioned us to believe that we can only work with them. We can't work with anybody else. So there's so many of us who are still stuck thinking like, oh, well, I think we have a better chance of working with the Democrats. And I think the Democrats have even more of a disdain for us than the Republicans. These these cards kind of suck. This is the Hermit. They want us to feel isolated. They they want us to they want us to feel isolated, like we don't have any help. And that's the main reason why they're using the Somalis, and they're trying to like form this immigrant coalition so they can go on with their plans and they don't need us. They won't need our votes. But it's even more insidious because they're trying to isolate us from everyone else so that we would be forced to come back to them. That's just what it looks like to me. Yeah, they think that they're the ones carrying the big stick. They think because they gave us civil rights, because that's what they feel like they did. They feel like they gave us civil rights, that we're indebted to them, and that they're the only people that can give us anything and they can do anything for us. What else? They want us to feel like we're in competition with these other groups, but I don't think that we are in competition with anybody. I know, like, the whole Dr. Claude Anderson when he said that, what are we going to do when we're fourth on the list? But we have like greater standing and we hold all of the energy. We really hold all the cards in this type of situation, especially this new time that we're in. I feel like the reason why we're having this spiritual awakening is because we're getting mental upgrades. And when I say mental upgrades, I think that we are going to be able to feel and discern things in a more spiritual way that is going to help us get reparative justice. Just like in during slavery when there were certain, there were some revolts like Nat Turner's revolt, and they were actually getting guidance from the ancestors and God in order to be successful in their revolts. It's the same thing that we're getting divine intervention. We're getting divine help. And these other people, they don't have the access to the divine like we do. Um, and I think that's the main reason why looking we're looking pretty good in comparison to all these other people because they're looking desperate. Like they're looking like this is their like a last ditch effort. And we're just going about our business because we know that we have a gift. We know that we're being gifted. We're we are a catalyst for change. When I saw this card though, the first thing I thought was this is the big house. It's really the tower in tarot. So you see this, you see like there's like a very devastating change. But when I saw this, I was thinking the first thing I thought was we are inheriting the big house. Like the place where our ancestors worked enslaved, you know what I mean? Got beat and brutalized and treated like garbage. We're inheriting it because we are the ones that worked for it. Nobody else did. And this is like a gift that we are getting. The Knight of Cups is more like it's like a romantic offer. But when I see it in this instance, this is just a gift. We're receiving something that we're supposed to get. And I think it's the big house, which is America, which is this country that we are the only ones that own it. We are the only ones that own it. I don't really know what this means. I'm just gonna shuffle it again. Spud McKenzie says, "Did you see the basketball player Jalen Brown from the?" Oh, I wanted to talk about that. I wanted to talk about that. We might have to talk about that tomorrow. I love Jalen Brown because he is really like he's smashing so many stereotypes. And one of the main ones that he's smashing is that athletes aren't smart. They're dumb, especially black athletes. And he's a genius. And they hate it. They hate it so much because they can't play him. And he's of course he is a very very talented basketball player. He has a ring and he's been the MVP. So you can't take any of that away from him. But he doesn't act like he has to do this. And that's what they want. They want you to grovel. Like, yeah, we're making your dreams come true. We're putting you in a situation where you wouldn't ever be in before. You know what I mean? But no, Jalen Brown don't need to be a dumb basketball player. He can do whatever he want to be. He could be an astronaut. Two of knives, two of sticks. This kind of makes me feel like two of knives, two of sticks. This kind of makes me feel like the Democrats are kind of trying to throw distractions at us because they don't know what they're doing. You know what I mean? Like they think that they can throw, like, this protest was obviously like a distraction. Um, but they think that they can throw that type of stuff at us and we're just gonna be so consumed with it that we're not gonna be able to focus on anything else. But that's not true. And they're only doing it because they don't have no plans. They're still in the planning stage, which is crazy because the midterms are in a few months. They don't have no plans. They think that this is enough of a distraction for them to pretend like they don't need us. I don't think it's going to work. Dante 3 times X says, I feel like the boomers are hell bent on voting Democrat for the midterms. From the strong dislike of Trump, same playbook playing off our emotions. Can we ever break the cycle? I said this before, but I feel like we're gonna have to get some of these old N words up out of here because that's the only way we're gonna be able to move forward. One thing about that I wanted to address about this data center that's supposed to be opening. So my neighborhood, Pittsburgh, has a neighborhood association, and this neighborhood association has been around for decades. The old president, Mr. Floyd, he owns so much property in Pittsburgh. His daughters right now they own the Pyramid grocery store. It's not really a real grocery store, but it's like a staple in Pittsburgh. Everybody knows about the Pyramid. It's been there for ages. The new president is he might be younger than me, but he's a native to Pittsburgh. He thinks that if they're going to bring the data center here anyway, that we need to get in front of it and we need to see what we can get out of it. I don't believe that. I don't believe that we need to just see what we can get. We're not there anymore. We're not in a place where we can just see what we can get. We can get whatever the hell we want. We don't have to try to script and scrape and, oh, well, we don't have no choice. They're going to do it anyway. No, we're not there anymore. They're not going to do whatever they want to do. If we say we don't want it, then we don't want it. And there's no, well, we got to try to see if we can get some jobs out of it and maybe some investment in the neighborhood. No, because if we do that, we're never going to get anything that we want. And no government official has any standing when it comes to us. They can't be like, oh, well, they did something for us at this time, so let's just let them do. No. Dante 3 times X, right? The power is with the people. There is no, oh, well, we need to try to see what we can get out of this. No, because if we don't want it, we don't have to do anything with it. And that's that. And they've already denied it before. And this hasn't just been my neighborhood, Pittsburgh. We have surrounding neighborhoods, Adair Park, Mechanicsville, the West End, Oakland City. We have all these other neighborhoods that are surrounding, and they're all saying no too. So, and that's the truth. That's the truth. We don't have to. We're the ones on the stage right now. We got the microphone. We can do whatever we want to do. And that's the problem with us. Like, we really feel like we have to compromise. We don't have to compromise with these people. We need to tell them exactly what we want, and we have to stand on it. That's really what our ancestors are like trying to tell us right now. Like, we got y'all. We got y'all. Just stand up. Don't falter. We need you to stand on something. Because we got the power. It's clear that we have the power. We haven't even done anything. Us just saying that, okay, we're rejecting these old terms that you put on us and we're giving ourselves our own. That really messed the people up. The Empress. the big queen. That's where we are right now. Hey, Kid Hey, Kid Gravity. We're on our throne. What? I've been like, y'all, ever since I watched that Flag Boy Giz Colors video, I've definitely fell down the Mardi Gras Indians wormhole. I did. And I've just been watching all the documentaries. There's like so many Mardi Gras Indian documentaries on YouTube. I've been watching all of them. I've been watching all the interviews. And the history is so beautiful. And one thing I feel like is a misconception about it, now that I've like learned so much more about it, is that they're not actually Indians. They're not saying that they're indigenous people. They're paying homage to the actual Indians who gave their ancestors um, protection from slave catchers. It's about how when they were running away from slavery, the Indian tribes brought them in, and I'm sure some of them married into and blah blah blah. But it's all just to tell the history of what happened then. And I'm sure a lot of them have indigenous history because of that. But that is probably, I think that's how a lot of them came into contact with indigenous people. A lot, I guess, the black people. Yeah, the history is very, very interesting. But this is clearly a Mardi Gras Indian. And there's actually a chief on their suit. Yeah, this is what we're doing can't be stopped. It can't be stopped. We're continuing to move forward. And so since they can't stop us, they can kind of just try to irritate us on our journey. That's what it's feeling like. The big house came out again with the chariot. It's ours. This country is ours. That's why we don't need to be trying to compromise or anything like that. No. Because the problem is everybody in the country knows that the country is failing and that we're about to go through a very tough depression. Um, it's not going to be good, but in a time of crises, it can be an opportunity for us. Um, and I think that's what we really need to be focusing on, like how we are going to take advantage of what's about to happen. Thomas Kramer, UConn economist professor, has every eligible FBA owed 155 million each, and he says that's a conservative number because he only calculated past money owed from slavery. Yeah, I mean, we're going to get reparations. It's going to happen. And I think it's going to happen to try to save the country from complete ruin. That's what I think. Look, the big house with the 7 of Wands, which is pretty much standing your ground. We have to protect our land, not the corporation that's the United States of America. No, we need to protect our interest in this land because this is our home. I'm actually going to pull some cards because these cards are weird. Like, they kind of like, they still kind of stick together. And I've like put powder on them and everything. So on the bottom of the deck is a 7 of Coins, reap what you sow. 5 of Knives, the Moon, Judgment. Yeah, I feel like everybody feels like they're in competition with us for something that belongs to us. Like, I think in the past, people were able to be like, oh, they don't know what they have, so I'm just going to take it. And they were able to take something because we weren't utilizing what we had. But now that we know what we have, we're using our intuition. We're using our intuition to break down the barriers of what we feel like we didn't previously know. But people feel like they were in competition with us for what in innately belonged to us, but we defeated all of them. We're actually awakening to the fact that we were the winners all along. People were just siphoning energy from us. We were always going to be the winners. We are having that awakening, and with that awakening, we're given the green light to move forward. So we're not trapped. We're not trapped in a black white dichotomy. We're not trapped in a caste system. We're not trapped in this situation that we cannot get out of because we don't know what to do. We know what to do. They can't try to infantilize us and treat us like we don't know what's happening because we do. And we're showing them that we can take control and we can make the right decisions. That's what's really scary. Like when I showed y'all that 9 of Coins card where it felt like the Democrats see that we don't need them and they're afraid of that because they definitely need us. Dante 3 times exactly what God backing us. We will defeat all opposition. Destiny is set. We're just going through the motions. Yeah, because we're at a time. It is crazy. I said that as soon as I said that this is the emperor, this is authority. We have authority over ourselves. We don't need anybody else to try to micromanage us and try to figure out what we have because we have family. We are a family. We got each other. And we all have the authority to bring down judgment. And that's what we've been doing. Judgment is, and when I say we've been bringing down judgment, we have not been physically saying, okay, well, these people are wrong for this, these people are wrong for that. Yeah, they are. And we've said that in many cases. But just like with this march on Selma, other people can see it. We don't have to be the ones to indict them. They're indicting themselves by looking like fools. And people are like, okay, well, this seems like something that the Black Americans have done. This is the civil rights thing. That's their thing. I don't know why these Somalis are trying to like take over it. That looks weird. We don't have to indict these people. They put themselves under judgment. And just us having a higher moral standing than they do, it makes them look crazy. Who we are has already been illuminated. It has already been illuminated. Just like what the minister has always said, you don't have to, I don't have to indict my brother for being insufficient because all I have to do is be a clean glass up against a dirty one. Everybody's going to be able to see the difference. We are in a stage where this is what I meant to say. We are in a stage where it's like we have one foot in the old world and one foot in the new world. We haven't been able to come completely into the new world because we're still trying to figure out how do we embody the authority that we have been given. We are being given an authority and it's new. It's new, especially in this material world. We're literally having a new beginning materially where we had so many upgrades and so many victories in the spiritual world that it has to reflect on this material plane. It hasn't reflected yet. So we're all kind of like Okay, so it's like when you get a, I don't know, you get a new pair of skates or something like that. You kind of have to fill them out. You gotta practice a little bit. It's not going to be easy rolling around those skates the first time. You got to kind of keep going at it. And this is like a newfound. This is a newfound. Um, the word is on the tip of my tongue. I don't even know why I can't think of it. This is a newfound responsibility for us. This is like a new. It's like we were just given a wand and we just don't know what to do with it. It's like people are like trying to fight with us. People really want to fight with us over this, but it's really because they don't want us to be able to see the truth of who we really are. That's why they're trying to fight with us. Ten of Knives, Son of Knives, Seven of Coins again, and the Eight of Coins. The Ten of Knives for me makes me feel like the worst is over. The worst is over. We've been beat up so much, like we can't be beat up no more. We have to start over, and we're getting clarity on this because we're realizing who we are. We are realizing the truth of who we are, and I think we just have to figure out how to balance that. How do we balance this new responsibility? We have to be more measured in our words and in our speaking and how we deal with other people for sure. Because I think they really want us to self sabotage. They want us to self sabotage. But this is what we earned. We've mastered something. We've mastered something. And I think that's how we deal with the way people treat us. I think before we used to try to, it used to kind of get us down, especially when we were actually believing, oh, we don't know where we come from. We don't know who we are. We don't have no language. We ain't got no culture. But we don't think that way anymore. We know that we have a culture. We know who we are. So there's really nothing that these people this is confirmation. But there's really nothing that these people can say to us. They're not better than us in any way. Dante 3 times X says, we must become the clean glass. All bad habits must be purified before God can pour into us. Exactly. I think that's probably why we still have one foot in the old world, because we're still holding on to some bad habits. And some of those bad habits are probably like negative self talk, feeling like we're being held back in some way. Because, of course, we know that systemically through this dying system, we have been held back. And we have to know that nobody can hold us back any longer. Not even this system, this dying system can hold us back. But McKenzie says exactly, they're indicting themselves. Yeah, we don't like we have the power to bring down judgment only because we in this situation we have the moral high ground. That's why we can bring down judgment. But it's not like we're doing that. We're pretty much just saying the truth. Like, y'all are trying to tether onto us. Y'all have come to our country. You have degraded it. You have degraded our identity. And we have to separate ourselves from you all if we're going to be able to move forward. Reparations Nation, the habits are holding on to people that ain't on code. Yeah, I agree. I agree with that too. But a lot of those people are these old people that are going to come out for midterms and vote Democrat. This is the star card in like the traditional tarot. I think that we have always been a people of hope. We have been giving other people hope, even if they don't want to admit to it. But in this moment, we are like the North Star. People are going to be following us because it's going to get to a point where people are actually going to have to start telling the truth about being lost right now, because we we say all the time. I'm gonna have to go soon. Sorry, y'all. But like we say all the time on this channel, like we have dang, what was I saying? I think I forgot that quick. And I think it's because I keep hearing "keep hope alive" in my head. Keep hope alive, keep hope alive. Like I keep hearing it because the Somalis were saying it. But also, like I said, we are the hope. We are the hope in the dream of the slave. We are the last hope of this country, you know. So it's very important that we keep our integrity and we continue to stand our ground. Yeah, because there are people or entities at every turn waiting to stab us in the back. They're really hoping that we don't know what we have. We know what we have. We definitely know what we have, and I think that we are very, very close to getting exactly what we want. Yeah, these people are fighting to keep us in the past. Like, yeah, I feel like we definitely need to keep hope alive, but not that type of hope alive. You know what I mean? Like we hoping that the establishment treats us like we're humans. You know what I mean? We aren't we're not there no more. I feel like um we are being moved out of like an impoverished mentality. That's that one foot in and one foot out. That lack mentality. We're getting pushed out of it because it doesn't serve us at all. It doesn't serve us, but it's happening very, very quickly. Just like Dante 3 times X said, we need to purify ourselves. We definitely need to purify ourselves so that when we come into this, we fully come into this new authority. We can come into it with the full integrity to know what God has for us, what God wants for us to do, how we can continue to carry out his plan. That takes us going inward. We got to start meditating. We got to start praying more. We just got out of Ramadan. We was doing a lot of praying. But the prayer and the meditating, that's what's going to really help us get to the truth. Get to the truth. Because we haven't even scratched the surface of what we know and what we can do. And I think because we all came into this like awakening very quickly, very intuitively, we could get lazy and decide that we don't have more to learn, but we do. We all have our own individual missions on this earth. And I think that the more we go inward, we can access that. And that can add and contribute to our greater mission as Black Americans. Thank you, Dante 3 times X. Kid Gravity says, nah, Tommy Strong, keep the lie alive. No, you're right. You're right. But the problem is we know the truth now. And once you know the truth, you can't unhear the truth. So we have to keep going towards the truth. We have to keep going towards the truth because that is what is going to free us and liberate us completely. We're close to the liberation. I said we got one foot in, one foot out. But those bad habits, that bad way of thinking, that lack and that scarcity mindset, we are a very abundant people. We have fed the world through our creations, our creativity. We have the, and we didn't get nothing for it. But just imagine what we can do when we know more and we understand our mission a lot better. And on that note, y'all, oh, I gotta go get a seam. I gotta go get a seam. Thank y'all so much for coming. This was a great discussion. Like, share, subscribe. All you people that are on Twitter. I bet if I go onto my YouTube, it won't be nobody in the YouTube. Mm-hmm. I'm not gonna go on the YouTube though. I ain't got time for that. But thank you all. Eid Mubarak one more time. We're gonna be celebrating all week. Tomorrow we're gonna come back. We'll probably talk about Jaylen Brown tomorrow. And we probably will talk about more about this data center. We're gonna be talking about this data center every day. And I love y'all. Y'all want to see my new leotard? I was gonna show y'all. This is my leotard that I custom ordered last year, and I just got it. Ooh, it's so pretty. Ooh, it's so pretty. Do I want to wear it to class tonight? Probably not. I know you're on the YouTube. I know all y'all in the YouTube, but I know there's a lot of people that are watching that aren't on YouTube. But if you're not, go to my YouTube, like, share, subscribe. This is so pretty. It's so pretty. But yeah, go to my YouTube, like, share, subscribe. And if you're feeling led, drop a couple dollars in my digital tip jar. Cash App, MAJORAHMAN. I will see y'all in the tweets. And if I don't see y'all in the tweets, I'll see y'all tomorrow, same time, 1:30. Assalamu alaikum.